What's going on, guys? Back with another video. Welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a simple modification. We're going to be swapping out the gauge faces in the 2017 Dodge Charger. So let's open this up and see what we got. Yeah, I ordered these a few days ago. Just never had the time to put them in due to the weather and with work. So today's a pretty good looking day, so I got the time to knock it out. It's a fairly simple modification. Just kind of sucks that you're going to be pulling apart a brand new car, the dash. So let's get it done. Alright, I got these in Destroyer Gray from USPEEDOs. I'll leave a link in the description. Really fast turnaround between purchase and delivery. It took about a little under a week. What just fell? Alright, so yeah, we got them in Destroyer Gray. Comes with his own pry tool. Very straightforward on how to put these in. I don't want to get them dirty. These are what they look like. Alright. Okay. So overall, not bad. Quality's really good. All the numbers are legible. If you can see, there's a little B emblem on the back. It's actually really cool. But yeah, let's get these installed, see how this works out. Alright, for this install I'm going to be disconnecting the battery. I already moved the little fence here, so I'm going to go under. And what we're going to do is be removing the negative side, so you need a 10mm bolt, or socket, sorry. Take that off, and I'll tuck it here. I'm gonna put this here. Alright, battery's disconnected. Alright, it is hot as hell in here, so I'm going to try to get this done as quick as possible before I melt. I'm going to disconnect the dash cam USB wire and move this out the way. Just going to use some basic pry tools. So we're going to try to go in from the side. But first you're going to want to take your steering wheel, move your steering wheel down, so release this lever and pull your steering wheel down to the very lowest settings it can go. And then you're gonna grab your pry tool and try to work. It's like one of the most scary things you can do. Making some progress. It's just taking a while. I think I've been at this for about 10 minutes. So yeah, it's a work in progress, because a lot of times this all supposed to come out with the vents in one piece, but if you pry it too hard you may separate this and then this will fall inside, which you can easily pick back out, but just a pain in the ass because you feel like you're gonna break something, and I feel like I can just tug this and it'll come right off, but I'm not trying to spend ridiculous amounts of money trying to replace the dash when I can just keep working it. I'm actually breaking my pry tool. So let's keep working that. All right, finally got it off. I believe, like I said, it all comes off in one piece, but I do have one of the vents on the driver's side, on this side, stuck in there. So you could just pull this out and reattach it back, but I'll do that when I get out and get this cluster out and start working on that. Alright, as mentioned before, big pain in the ass, but I got it off. This is what the result of that is. What we're going to be doing next is removing this. So we're going to have to get the screws. You have 4 in total, I believe. You have one here, one in there, one here, and one in there. Alright, I got all 4 screws out. Back in the house. But alright, you got all 4 screws out. Be careful not to pull this directly out because you're going to risk, and I dropped the screws, but at least they fell here, not inside the damn car. Alright, so get a good angle. Back here, there's a little wire right here that you need to take apart in order to remove this whole cluster. So I believe it's a simple push down and a pull out, but I can't get it with one hand, so I'll be back when this is out. Alright, now we got the gauge cluster out. We're gonna have to get in here and remove the stock ones and replace them with these destroyer grays. Alright, so there are 8 clips holding this in place. I've seen people struggle with this, so I've pre-cut some little cardboard pieces to wedge underneath to hold them in place long enough for me to slide this piece off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put this one somewhat in so it doesn't lock back in place. This last one, you should just pick it up and this cluster should just slide right off, just like that. So this is what we're working with here. Now, once this is off, I believe you're supposed to turn counterclockwise and pull at the same time, but you aren't supposed to make a complete turn. It's supposed to all just come off in one fell swoop. But before you do that, you're supposed to get some tape or a marker and mark where your lines are with the car completely off and the gauge is completely out of the car, so then you don't have inconsistency with the reading of the gauge. So I have here some painter's tape that I'm going to cut up. Okay, so this is the finished product. So then you'll be able to know when you install the new clusters where these go. So basically now what we're going to do is remove these pins. So you're going to turn counterclockwise. Alright, we got one of them out. So we're going to work on the other. So you're going to just turn counterclockwise and pull up at the same time. So just like that, and both needles are out. Now we're going to remove these. Just be really gentle all the way around. It's just held on with some adhesive. So that's one. I'll put it over here so I can always keep track of where the other one. All right. Left, 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 and then it just snaps right up. Okay. So now I know where my needles are going to sit when I put the new ones back in. Remember, these are going to be the guidelines, the reference points for when you install the new gauges. Now, these are supposed to sit snug Alright, I got them pretty carved out. Well, I have them carved out pretty well. Definitely not for the faint of heart. It's a lot of time, you know, consuming sitting there carving this to make sure that it's you don't go out of the line and accidentally hit one of the indicators. But overall, I think it came out alright. Alright, I got one of them fully seated in, and that came out pretty good. Like I said before, if you see like any white like underneath this gray cluster, it's going to get covered up by the actual needle itself, so I'm not worried about it. But overall, it's secure. And I went with some double-sided 3M tape, so you're going to try to avoid the actual lighting as much as possible, like the back. So that's what it looks like. Alright, so we have the new faces sitting in here, and now it's time to install the needles. So what we're going to have to do, like I mentioned earlier, is you're going to have to use the tape that you put down as a guideline, as a reference point, so you know exactly where you're going to be placing your needle at. So you're going to set this needle down until you hear it click. So now you're going to take your housing unit and you're going to place this over, and you're going to just snap them in until you see all 8 snaps are secured. And here we go. Alright, so we're back in the sauna. So we're going to get this installed. So basically you're going to reverse the steps you did to take this out. So you're going to come behind the wheel, make sure your wheel is still seated down in the most downward position. You're going to clamp this in. You should hear a nice little snap. Okay, once that's seated properly, I'm gonna put the screws back in, and then before you actually put the dash back together, I'm gonna install the battery back and I'm gonna run it to see how it responds, if all the lights are working, if everything's in perfect functioning order. Then we'll turn the car back off and we'll get the dash installed, and then that's it. All right, moment of truth. Let's see how this works. Everything is well lit. Everything seems to be in functioning order. So let's drive around and see what we got. I do have my seatbelt on, so as you can see, I just took the seatbelt off and it lights up, turns off, put it back in drive. Everything seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. Turn signals, left, right. Yeah, it seems to be spot on.